Hola. Okay, I made a video, my last video, talking about, relationships and how whenever you're navigating your way through a health condition, whether that's mental or physical, there's that sense of you don't want to be a burden on the people that you love. And so one of the emotions that I've kind of managed or had to sort my way through is I never wanted the people that loved me for their life to be less than it was, because of the relationship with me. Like I've made videos before kind of referencing how when you have a health condition, you're faced with that question of, okay, my health is not imperfect anymore. Or maybe it never was. Does that mean that I'm going to live a greater than life because of that? Like that my life will be more rich and meaningful and have more purpose and lessons and growth? Or is it less than? Is it just like I'm not going to be able to live as good of a life because of this? But that question spills over, for me anyways, into other relationships where my best friends and family, I didn't want their life to be less than because of my health condition, because I'm a part of their life, because they love me. I never wanted their love for me to hurt them. And what's really magical is little things that have happened, like at the time, and I said this in my last video, how we look at the kind of friend we're being or family member we're being because we can't, the way we're used to showing up in those roles, we can't show up in that way. And the point of my last video was to kind of like shed light or have you look at that there's actually new ways that you're showing up and being a good friend and family member. And a couple of examples I have in my own life is like my sister who showed up big time for me in every single way possible. And we weren't even that close at the time, and we were really close now, but at the time we weren't because we were so different. And I was such a pain, just about my diet, everything had to be organic and gluten-free. And I think sometimes when you get a physical, I guess mental health condition as well can be that way. There's all this pressure to eat perfect, almost like you develop an eating disorder or something, you're scared to eat anything, or then all of a sudden you want to eat really all the bad stuff because you're not supposed to. So anyways, I was that way, and I was super psycho about it. My sister always cooked for me, and she was just like, okay, I will take care of that for you. And she's cussing me out in her head on the drive home, gosh, she's so high maintenance right now. Anyways, what's interesting that happened out of that is here it was a very one-sided relationship in my perspective, because it was my sister doing everything for me, and I didn't really feel like I was reciprocating, at the time, and I guess I still feel that way. But what's interesting is through that, she learned about anti-inflammatory foods, and she actually started eating the keto diet herself because I was eating keto and she was cooking for me, so it made her curious about it, and she was looking at all these recipes. But she ended up losing weight from that, and her PCOS went away because of the keto diet, and she had her own transformation. But she actually started a cookie company, a keto cookie company, and she's finally found something she's passionate. So it's what's nice is out of the relationship with me, something really wonderful has come out of it, that she's found this really exciting company that she wants to start that's gonna make foods that are, autoimmune friendly and anti-inflammatory friendly, and she's really excited about it. So that was a benefit of our relationship. And hang with me, I'm almost to the topic of this video. And then my best friend, the little Cuban that I walked across Spain with, that was another thing where I felt oh my gosh, she's doing everything for me, and I can't reciprocate. And then she ended up coming to walk across Spain with me, and ended up meeting her boyfriend that she's with now, and she really loves him and she's really happy, and she wouldn't have met him if it hadn't have been for my illness. So good things can be born out of our circumstances, that even though we can't give in the way we did before, someone's lives can still change for the better because we're in it. Which brings me to the topic of this video. And the topic of this video is Can your life be, as good as it was before the person you really loved or a person you really loved died? And the reason I just gave that whole backstory is about my health condition and my relationships is because I'm hoping that you see that when you love somebody, you don't want their life to be less than because you were in their life. You want good to come out of your relationship with them in spite of your unhealthy circumstances. So I realize grief is a really sensitive and personal topic, and no one, grieves the same and nothing feels the same. And, that's partly because each of us is so unique and different from each other. And so that means that every relationship that we have is different. Like it's impossible for any two people's grief to be the same. But what I want to point out is I've heard people say like they have guilt around being happy after their mom died, their husband died, their daughter died, their best friend died. They feel like they can't be happy, and I get it. Like, I get that there's something really magic about. It's a hard topic to talk about too, but like I get it. The magic of like the type of love where you can't live without them. The type of love that your life just could never be as happy or as joyful or as fun or as beautiful without that person. And that's really a special kind of love, and it's a magic kind of love. But to feel, guilt, like when you start to feel happy, or even if you just haven't allowed yourself to even be happy at all, like if you've got that door closed and you're not even open to it yet, because something about it feels wrong. Something about it feels like you shouldn't be allowed to be happy without them, or not even allowed, just like, because, it's like dishonoring how much you loved them. But going back to my example about my illness and my relationships, those people that we love, when they pass away, they're not here to speak up for themselves, and they're not here to be like, hey, what the hell? Like, I want your life to be better because I was in it, not worse. I want the rest of your life, good things to come out of the fact that you knew me. And I want your life to be greater than because you knew me, not less than. Not less than because I passed away too soon, because I'm not here to be with you. Like, and I've said this before, it's like, we're, as human beings, we are capable of feeling lots of different emotions at one time. Like, just because you're grieving and you're sad and you miss them and life will never be the same, doesn't mean you can't be really happy and joyful and laugh and have fun, even have some of the best days of your life, even be the happiest you've ever been, in other areas of your life without them here, even if they are your world. So I just wanted to shine light on that because it's sad for everybody if when someone you love, becomes one of your angels, it's sad when we feel like we'll never feel that the happiest days of our life are behind us, that we'll never feel as happy as we did before. Because if that's the case, that means that the rest of your life, you're putting yourself in this bubble or in this box, shielding yourself from being really, really happy because of your relationship that you had with that person. And I feel like that person would be like, hey, like you always hear that platitude, or, when people are just like, well, they would want you to be happy. And I don't know how comforting that is, honestly. So I think sometimes people just don't know what to say. And, it's hard to look at somebody with uncomfortable feelings and someone in pain, and you just want to take that pain away from them. You just want to make them feel better, and you just want to fix it. But like, grief's not something that needs to be fixed. And to look at somebody and be like, don't hurt, don't feel pain, like they would want you to be happy, is kind of like saying, don't love them anymore. like, don't feel love anymore. Like, ignore that you loved them. That's not super, super duper helpful all the time. Even if it's true, I love the grief is a broken heart, not a broken brain. It's like, intellectually, you can understand that the person you love that passed wants you to be happy. Intellectually, you can understand, but like, your heart hurts, your heart's broken. But what I'm trying to help shift a perspective is, just like a sick person or an injured person or someone with mental health problems or whatever wants the people they love, wants the lives of the people they love to be greater than because they were a part of their life in spite of their circumstances and their illness. Like, they still want beauty to be born and still want, the people around them to benefit from that relationship and not be a burden. Like, the people you love when they pass on are probably the same way. Like, they don't want that their life to have been a burden on your happiness and your joy. They want like little things, like people you met through them while they're still alive. Like, they want those relationships to blossom and be happy because they were a part of it. So like, yeah, how cool that when they're not here, those relationships can blossom and you can be happy in those. Like, how awesome. Like, what a neat thing for them to leave behind. Like, they want like that business idea that y'all always talked about to like, for you to just go for it and pray to them about it and like be successful and chase your dreams and do it with them in a different way. Like, they want you to fall in love again and like, enjoy your human experience and, whatever, like, keep doing the things that y'all did together. Like, so I think, in my opinion, and I do realize it's such a sensitive topic and this may not be well received by everyone, and I'm sorry if makes you uncomfortable, but to those of you that maybe this resonates with, I just think it's a healthy, happy perspective to think like, okay, I miss them and I'll love them and I'll always miss them and love them. But I can celebrate their life and I can honor their life, by making my life greater because they were a part of my life. Living a happier, fuller, amazing life because I carry them with me, because I know them and they're a part of me, even though they're not here. The rest of my life is better and happier and more fun because they were part of my path. Like, I think of that. What kind of made me think of this to make this video today is like my friend Tressa, that passed away last year. She's just been on my mind a lot today. And it's neat because before my autoimmune, like, we partied a lot together and we had a lot of fun together and everything. And then like, you get sick, and I mean, how many times have you heard or said like, oh, you find out who your friends are when you go through a tough time? And I don't particularly like that phrase at all. It doesn't resonate with me, and I've made other videos about it I'm not gonna talk about right now. But like, what I will say is Tressa got in the trenches with me. Like, she still made me feel worthy and loved and accepted, even though I couldn't walk and I couldn't dance or have fun or any of that stuff. Like, she still made me feel like, no, like, I want to be your friend still, and you're still awesome, and I love talking to you, and I love hanging out with you, even if I have to hang out with you in a hospital bed. Like, you're still worth it. And even though she's not here to do that anymore, like, I still have that confidence she gave me with me. Like, I'm able to approach life and walk around in my life knowing like, yeah, like, I'm still worth it. Even people, like Tressa, who knew me when I was healthy, like, still loved me just as much when I was really sick. So like, yeah, like, I'm capable of having unconditional love from people because Tressa showed me that. So like, I can live a greater, healthier, happier life because she was in it, and that's okay. That's okay to even, right now or a year or in 5 years from now, to be happier than I've ever been, even though she's not here. That's okay, because she helped me get to that point. She was a part of my path, and she's a part of my self-love and self-confidence. So anyways, that's all I say is just, don't stop feeling guilty. You don't have to feel guilty for being happy just because the person that you loved so much isn't here by your side. It's still okay. And it's better than okay. It's not about like, oh, they would want you to be happy, because they would. It's actually respecting them. It's honoring them. It's not letting your life be less than because of your relation, letting the rest of your life be a little more sad and less than because you had a relationship with them. It's being like, no, like, I'm a better person for them, and I'm going to honor them by living my life to the fullest and to the happiest, help other people, like YOLO, like live life because of them. So anyways, much love. See y'all later. And I'm so sorry if your heart hurts. But I know there's something I can fix it or make it better. But hang in there, and see you later. Bye. Oh, I think see you later.